All right, real quick before we move on to the big ones. So I just want to point this out. Right, so MDB broke its high here from earlier in the year in July, and you have RSI down here making a high and then making a lower high. So you have a little bit of bearish divergence on the daily on MDB, and we also have it on the MACD chart as well. I don't know if you guys can see that. I mean, you see here's the high, here's the lower high, right? And then what was the other one I wanted to point out? So snow is coming out of a weekly squeeze. So yeah, this thing can really get going. I definitely wouldn't want to step in front of this train for sure. All right, let's move on to the big guys. So Tesla, this is my favorite setup right now, and the one that I'm definitely going to be focused on. So it literally just broke out of this major trend line here. Two strong candle closes above it. I mean, this trend line goes way back to July of this year. Okay, it already broke out of the other major trend line, but this is a solid trend line break right here, and I am definitely looking for a retest of this upper 260 area, and possibly even 280 up above. This upper 260 area is also the value area high on the volume profile charts. I do want to pull this volume profile back up as well. Okay. So the other thing to point out too is we're trading above the composite point of control now, which is at 251. So as long as we stay above that, this can continue to run. And I think you can even see there's a little bit of a low volume node here on the 270 area on Tesla. Weekly chart again looks absolutely beautiful. Nice hammer candle came down to test this point of control here, and then closed above this one as well. So looks all set to me to test that value area high there. Let's just take a look. I don't think this one was in a squeeze. What am I doing? Tesla. Yeah, so similar look here. Oh, okay, so we're in a daily squeeze right now. So yeah, this thing can really get going if it comes out of this daily squeeze here. Okay, pretty simple setup here. I mean, as long as 257 holds, I'm gonna stay very bullish on Tesla for that upper 260 area. Okay, and really, if you look back, I mean, Tesla ran up to the 300 area in July, and out of all the big names, it's yet to test those highs in July. So I think Tesla's kind of lagging right here, and I think it will catch up. And we also just saw an insane amount of bullish options flow on it. So I'm pretty bullish on this one. Out of all the setups out there, that's the one I'm most bullish on. Let's look at Amazon. So pretty similar here. I think this composite point of control up here in the 260 or 160 area, I think this gets tested here soon. And this to me looks like it's breaking out in this 140 out of this 140 range. So to me, the upside target on Amazon is 160. That's also the balance area low of this major area here. Okay, so it coincides with the prior balance area low. So pretty no-brainer level up above there. Yeah, I mean that's clear as day right there. So and I think Amazon is also, oh yeah, futures looking great. And natural gas moving in my favor as well. Beautiful. Okay. yeah, so Amazon is in a daily squeeze, and I believe it's also in a weekly squeeze, and it's just riding that 9 EMA on the weekly, and this thing looks ready to just keep on ripping higher. So, you know, again, Amazon, another good setup that I like here. As long as we don't break back below 144 or 143.64, this is going to go. So I am long Amazon, looking for 160, which is the weekly composite point of control and the prior balance area low. NVIDIA, another one that, you know, if you look at it, it's just been kind of trading in this big range here. And we've tested the 500 level quite a few times. And it looks to me like it wants to test it again. I have some upside flies for that 500 level test. So we'll see if we can get that this week. The other thing I want to point out on NVIDIA is got to pull up the weekly chart. Yeah, so we are in a weekly squeeze on NVIDIA. So if we can get a break above 505.48, this thing can explode higher. So what's our target? Got to go to the fibs on this one. So first target would be 532 on the upside, and then 570, right? So, you know, how far out do we want to go on this? If this is a trade you wanted to take. So this is what I would do. I'm thinking 600 by 575-ish. So it'd be about 370 debit for this one. And you can ride this up to that 530 area for sure. And if it gets there, you should still be able to get like 550 or so on this. If it gets to 570, then this will go for about probably will go for about 10. So good. I love the setup on NVIDIA as well. Not as much as Tesla, but I do like the setup. So I am definitely leaning bullish on NVIDIA. AMD, again, breaking out here. So break out above this 132 area should take us near the all-time high in the 160 area. So yeah, and volume is just very thin up there too. So there's like no resistance heading up there. AMD. So what would I do on this? So if I wanted to play for the all-time high, let's see, 20. I think what I would want to do is a calendar spread 160 for February. Very cheap, only 150. Right, that would go to 2 easily. Probably would double, to be honest. The other thing we can do is we can take a 155 by, I think, 175. Let's see, how much would be the 15 wide? Yeah. This isn't too bad. So the 155 by 170 for March, not too bad. Only $3. This would go to 5 easily if this retests the all-time highs by March. So not too bad of a setup. Definitely bullish on AMD. And as long as we don't break below 135, I think this can keep running. There is a lot of support also in this 130 area too. So if we decide to come back and retest that level, also could be a good buy too. So we'll just have to see. So that's kind of why I would rather play debit spreads with AMD also. AVGO. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean this thing has just defied all logic. We're above the measured move that I measured here. We're above the we're above the Fibonacci extension by a long shot. Come on. Yeah, I mean we're at the 2618 Fibonacci extension. I mean this thing is just like non-stop up. I don't want to chase this here. I have no interest in chasing this. This thing is just, it could absolutely keep running. But, if you absolutely wanted to take long, 1094 is your line in the sand. I don't want to see it break below last week's low. Because then it's probably going to retest 1,000, I think. If it retests 1,000, I think that's a great buy. So keep that on your radar. I would rather wait it out on AVGO, to be honest. There's just better setups to me. I just have no interest in taking AVGO at all. When it's when it's moving up like this, I would much rather take butterfly setups. But the problem with AVGO is the liquidity on it isn't great. So I'm probably just not going to play it at all. Because your fills on butterfly spreads isn't going to be great. So, this one is just like a no touch to me. I also don't want to short it, right? But again, if it breaks below 1094.62, then I think there's a big likelihood that it comes down to test 1,000, right? So if that happens, you can take short and ride it down to near 1,000 and trim out on the way. You just want to keep your stops pretty tight because when it's in melt up mode like this, it can just give a quick dip and then rip higher. So this one is just kind of like I'm staying out of it. Netflix. So Netflix has been kind of dicking around. Let's take a look at the weekly charts. So to me, the big target above is 500, right? So we're kind of just chopping around in this low volume node on the composite weekly volume, and a little bit on the daily as well. So we could continue trading in balance. I did call this level out before the 445 area to 453 area for a tag and then bounce back up, and that's exactly what we got. But for now, until we break above, so actually I want to move this up just a tad. Yeah, so I mean really we want above 481.25 for this to break out to 500. I do have calendar spreads on the upside, and that's kind of how I would like to play this. Calendar spreads or get this fucking out of my face. Calendar spreads or butterfly spreads, upside butterfly spreads. So there's a huge gap up here that needs filled. And we have yet to fill it. So I do think that eventually gets filled. So for Netflix, how would I play Netflix? So again, I would definitely like to do either like a calendar spread to the upside or like a butterfly spread. So, I think a broken wing butterfly isn't terrible here on Netflix for the end of the year. So I think 485 by 500 by 510. Damn, why the fuck is the spread on that so wide? Okay. Probably just make it balanced. Why the fuck is the spread on that so wide? Fuck you. All right. All right. Yeah, so you're looking at about a 192 to 252 fill. Probably closer to 225 on a 15 wide. Not too bad, right? And what we're looking for is probably 4 on the exit on most, and then you can kind of hold on to it and see if it pins that 500 area by the end of the year. The other setup I wouldn't mind taking is the 500 calendar, and this one just gives you a little bit more flexibility. I would probably lean more towards the 500 calendar, to be honest. Much tighter spread on this too, so you could get filled for sure at 4, and I would look for about a 5 to 6 on the exit. Okay, and if it doesn't hit right away, you can roll that 500 short strike to January 12th, right? And then you'll collect a little bit more premium. So, pretty decent setup for me. I don't mind looking for a calendar spread for Netflix here. So just a brief synopsis. Netflix, I don't mind for a upside calendar spread, or if you want to do the butterfly spread. AVGO to me is no touch. AMD, I like it for an upside play for the all-time high test. If you want to take a debit spread. NVDA, same thing. I like it to test that Fibonacci extension above if we can break out above that 505 level. Tesla, I'm in it, and I love the setup. I think we're going to the upper 260s at the very least. Amazon, I like it for testing 160. Again, calendar's a pretty good setup for that on the upside, and I already posted that for Chintan. And then Crowd looks pretty good on the upside. Snow looks pretty good on the upside. Pacey looks pretty good on the upside. And then AVAV and MDB both look a little more bearish to me. So, we'll see how this all plays out. And hopefully you guys found this somewhat helpful. I tried to make it concise and, not too long-winded. Let's have another great week. We've been doing very well here lately, so I hope our success continues from here on out. All right, guys, enjoy your evening, and good luck this week.